Hey, what's up everyone? So today's gear of the week, I just want to talk quickly about a filter that I use. I don't use a ton of filters, but when I do, it's only a few. And I want to talk about variable ND filters, what their use is, and essentially, what they do. So here we go. Today's gear of the week, variable ND filter, something very, very versatile. Now I'm going to start off here with a warning, and this is in general with filters, overall. You can get the eBay, you can get the Amazon specials, you can buy junky cheap UV filters, polarizers, anything, variable ND filters, all that kind of stuff. And if you're not spending more than, say, $50 to $100 to $150 on some of those things, you're getting screwed because their quality really, really sucks. They're usually plasticky, and they're not made with actual glass. But there are certain few brands that I always recommend, that I always like to use. Once again, they are more of an investment. They are more expensive, but you're putting quality glass in front of quality glass. Some people might be like, well, I don't ever use filters and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes you need to. The UV filter is a whole different thing. I'm not a fan of those, but there are polarizers to help cut down on reflections to make skies pop, and there are ND filters, neutral density filters that block out a lot of light so you can use a lower f-stop. So say we're outside. It's a very, very sunny day, but you really want a shallow depth of field. You can't compress the background as much, but you want to shoot at, say, a 2.8, a 3.2. You really want a shallow depth of field and get amazing bokeh, but it's really bright out, so you're down to the lowest ISO you could go natively on your camera, and your shutter speed is all the way up as much as you could, but you just can't get that look. It's still too bright. What do you do? Well, this is where you come in with an ND filter. As I said, they cut down on light. You cut down one stop, ND3s cut down on 3 stops, 6, 8, all the way up the gamut. But instead of getting like 15 different ND filters like these, you get one, and it's a variable filter, meaning you can change it. So that's how I kind of started off the video, and it's usually a simple screw. So these are screw-on mounts. So this is a 77mm B&W filter, because if you get the cheap ones, if you get really crappy ones from like the China and all that kind of stuff, they have a terrible green tint to it. If you're using for video, that's atrocious. Even photos, but those are easily more correctable than video. But so once again, so these, I'm going to see if I can cut down the light. So they have, basically darked out, which you can't see me whatsoever. But as I spin this, you're going to see more light coming in. And, and that's more light coming in right there. So variable ND filters are extremely useful. You can use your lower shutter speeds outside, and you have more control. You're not just limited in regards to, only doing 1 stop or 3 stops and all that kind of stuff. You have more versatile doing that. So I have a, it's not cheap. I have a, it's an expensive variable ND filter from B&W. I really like their stuff. Tiffin also makes a really, really good one as well. I think that's about $150, but it just really kind of all depends on whatever you want to use. So that's my gear of the week. This really, really helps. I said aperture, really, really bright light. You want something more specialized. I use this a lot for videos when I do them outside, during the summers and on sunny days, so I can use lower f-stops to get more of a more bokeh in regards to that and get more of a specialized shot. So that's all I got. Variable ND filters, dark to light, boom. It's usually easier when they're on a camera and you're doing it in your setup. So that's all I got. Boom. Variable ND filters, very, very something you should look into. Don't cheap out. If you're getting one, really get one, and I suggest doing variable. Gear of the week, Rossi, guy with the eye.